this 6 to 8 week period of growth. You really do, from that physical standpoint. Now, we've got enough. They're paying attention, they're in meetings, and so you're getting the mental side of this to where you can improve. How'd you end up over there? Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I got here early, so. So that helps. But yeah, there is a piece that's missing, and they're going to have to make it up in a hurry. When we get into training camp, So, will it set them back? They can make this up, but certainly they've missed a piece of this.
With the fullback position, you don't have a traditional fullback on the roster. I think for the first time since you've been here, you've mixed and matched a lot of pieces back there, including Malcolm back there last year. Is that still kind of the plan, is to mix and match, or is the fullback something that's kind of getting slowly phased out of even Ben's offense?
No, we like a fullback if it makes sense, and it's somebody we know can help us at that position and can dictate to the defense. That's really what you're trying to do. It kind of forces the defense into a look that you want usually. So, but we're not going to force it either. So, like right now, hey, Rodrigo's playing. He's at the linebacker position competing. We've got a stable full of tight ends that we're working with a little bit. So that could be a tight end. It could be one of those guys. It could be a Liam McNeil. We'll when the time comes, but we're not going to force it either, and we're not going to go out on the act, and go out and start looking through scouring rosters and say, let's go find a fullback. If the right guy shows or our right guy is here, we'll figure it out. If not, then we'll use a tight end. Well, look, Matt can do it. It's just a matter of, do you want to do that? He can do it. It's just, all right, how many plays did you just play on this last drive? Was this a 10-play drive? Is he got his energy back to run out there at fullback? We've talked about it for a while, so you never know. We could throw him in there.
What did the end of the year do for Iffy's confidence, and have you seen that kind of translate over to now, kind of being one of those guys that you count on the back end there?
Yeah, anytime you're able to, you get some real, game experience at the position, which was somewhat new for him. And, it really is. It only helps you. And so there's some growth that took place for him. He made some plays for us, just as a pressure player. He came up with some huge play. Minnesota, that was a huge play at the end of that game. And so now you're just trying to continue to help him grow and get him a little bit better at it. So it's been important. It's always, anytime you can get real experience, in-game season experience, you're going to learn from it and really grow, and he's done that.
Khalif, Jared earlier this spring kind of referenced him as the forgotten guy of this core or whatever, and I wonder, I know he's not forgotten in your mind, but what the value of him and maybe does it even grow this year, especially with Josh coming?
Yeah, Leaf is our, he's another one of our Swiss Army knives. He does it all for us. His versatility to play all the positions. He can play the X, the F, the Z, and he's our returner. He's got real return ability and speed. All right, so he mentally knows those three positions of offense, and he's got speed. So he's a guy that's always going to have a place in our offense. It's a matter of how much do you use him and where do you use him at, but he's going to be a critical piece for us offensively, but also obviously as a returner too, because the new kickoff too now, it may be right in his wheelhouse as well.
And philosophically, what benefits do you think there are to signing players to extensions early? Like you see other quarterbacks around the league, some are kind of like half taking part in the offseason stuff because they want golf money or more, or receivers that maybe get more than on the run. Like, is there a benefit to being first in?
Well, from a club standpoint, anytime you can feel like, hey, let's commit, let's do this, because you are confident the player is going to continue to trend that way. Well, then you're gonna save against the cap, right, and cash against the cap. So that'll always be there. It's just a matter of obviously knowing. You got to know 100% that the player is who you think they're going to be. So But listen, you need to ask Brad that one, all right? That's out of my league right there a little bit.
It wasn't part of the decision to do it early, like we want to be first in, because then other people are going to have to pay their players.
You're talking about with Sane or with Sewell?
Kind of both, but yeah, like Sane.
I mean, those guys have earned their money. I mean, that's 3 years of top production, so.
Hey Dan, Pascal and Onzarike, just where they are mentally, physically, and kind of your vision for what you're looking for.
Who was the second? I'm sorry.
Pascal and Onzarike.
Oh, yeah, got it. Both of them certainly have improved. Listen, every time we get in this, I hate talking about, I just want to be careful because we're not in pads, okay? I just want to reiterate that. But Levi is having a really good spring. Pascal is too, but Levi, because of where he's come from and all he's had to deal with, I mean, this guy he's continued to rehab, he's continued to train his body and work, he's put on weight because, his back can handle it now. We got him through last year to where he's able to bank some reps, and he's having a really good spring, okay? And so I like where both of those players are at right now.
Coach, have there been any surprises? I mean, we talked about, OTA, you talked about JMO, you just talked about those two guys, but has anybody surprised you just this entire offseason, what they've been able to do?
Surprise. I guess when I think surprise, it would have to be somebody that you didn't expect a lot of and is really showing, or just, and so I can't think of who that would be, honestly. I feel like guys are where you want them to be. Levi would be the guy. It's just good to see, man. He's put on weight, which we talked about doing, so he's able to hold that weight, and he's strong, he's explosive, and he's banking good reps right now. So, but no, I can't say that I'm somebody's really like, man, where did he come from? I think the guys that we've talked about have
I don't know that he falls into this category, but Reese, just maybe some impressions of what he's done.
They're doing a good job. Another young guy who really improved last year. We put a lot of stock in these guys that were on practice squad for us throughout the year, and we want to know, and the coaches know this, man. I want to know what does it look like? How has development gone? Because they're as big a piece of this now as your own roster. I put a lot of stock in that. I mean, and so I want to know, did Fountain really improve? And he did. He improved last year. I mean, the looks that he gave our defense, his fundamentals, and so look, he's getting a little bit more time with our guys out here. He's getting some extra time with golf, and he's in the mix. I mean, he's a guy. He knows. I mean, we still have a spot open. I mean, we've got a couple of spots. We know what Sane is. We know what Leaf can bring to the table. We like where JMO's going, but I mean, there's still, you go 11 personnel. We've got another spot over there. So.
Dan, with Levi getting over maybe some of those physical hurdles, are you guys experimenting a little bit with his flexibility up front? It seemed like maybe some edge reps in there in one of the practices we were watching.
Yeah, yes, but also, I mean, we're doing it with Wingo too. Terrell's done a great job in AG of, man, the more flexibility we have up front, that helps us on game day. So and I know Wingo's a young guy, but Levi's one, put him outside at the big end on some things. And so the more we can do with those, they just do. They allow you to bring one less if you need to up front, because those guys can do multiple jobs.
How's Shane Zilstra looking after coming back from the injury so far?
Really good, really good. He came back from that injury and has looked really good, man. He's moving well. Really doesn't look like he's lost anything. So he's doing a good job. It's good to have him back out there in the mix.
Coach, you talk about guys not being in pads yet. What's the intensity like on the field, knowing that's not happening yet?
Yeah, we're way back. This thing is a good notch or two down than what it would normally be, and so we're getting the most that we can out of, it's really more the mental. There is initial couple of steps, fundamentals, but yeah, it's not anywhere close to what we do in pads.
Does Skipper know the intensity's down?
Yeah. He is. He is. So's the D line. Everything's leveled down right now. We're good. All right.
Yeah.